Is that Queen Beats? Is that Queen Beats? Is that Queen Beats?
Hello, guys. Welcome to the program Healthy Way. I'm going to be with you on this program, educating you healthy ways to live. Whenever you are home, when the doctor or a nurse is not around, and you fall sick, before we go into our today's discussion, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. So I'm Shiba Ishkade. I'm a nurse by profession in Harvard Christian University, where I earned my bachelor in nursing. I have a vast knowledge in healthcare and clinical activities. I did some clinical practices at the Mater Totman Hospital in Great Cedar County, the St. Joseph Catholic Hospital in Congo Town, and the Daily Day Hospital in Red Light Nizo community. Okay, now I've told you a little bit about myself. So we'll go in our today's discussion. So I'll be telling you about one of the sickness that people have around here, or you've been hearing around town, people have be telling you a septic ulcer. Some people mistaking septic ulcer for ulcer. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, I'm going to give you a more detail on septic ulcer. Hello, guys. Welcome to the program, The Healthy Way, the show that talks about your well being. I am your host, Shiba Ish Bade. I'm so excited to bring you the latest and most important news on national and international health issues. This program is dedicated to providing you with critical information you need to lead a healthier lifestyle. We also offer valuable tips on how to stay in shape and maintain a healthy lifestyle. We offer valuable tips on how to stay in shape and maintain a good health care. We also showcase success stories of those who have overcome health challenges. Join us every week as we explore the world of health and wellness on the Boss TV Sakon Channel 4. It's time to start your journey the healthy way. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Boss TV Sakon Channel 4 with your nurse, Kita H. Friday. On today's edition, I will be talking about septic ulcer. And this edition is divided into three segments. We have the first segment, second, and the third segment, ulcer, ulcer, and the signs and symptoms of septic ulcer. So if you have your smartphone, a device you can use to browse, I'm going to spell out the word and we will look at the definition together. So if you are there, the word is spelled as Pepticur. I'm going to go there. Pticur. Peptic ulcer. The lining of the esophagus, the stomach, or the small intestine. So let me give you more information on the word. So I will talk structure that is found within the digestive system. And the digestive system, it is a system that is responsible down to smaller particles. System can the food or your body can so start the moment you put food in your mouth, it starts to chew, which involves your teeth. The tongue will carry the food from one end to another. This in a so summer in the summer some so the small intestine and usually in a small of digestion, and that system, we have the peptic with, and the reason the peptic the bacteria from entering the stomach. So now the peptic serves as a filter, is in the form of a filter because I said it's a thread like treasure. That, that's how the peptic is like. So the peptic will stop those toxic. Also, I talk about the process of digestion as well. So the peptic also aids in that process. So I told you the peptic, it is a cell, and the cell is a small unit of life, meaning every the peptic is not a medical condition or cell, right? So we are done with peptic. We have this word also. Anytime you hear this word, it means soup. With that name, that unique name, you can say ulcer. But it's standard, meaning this soul can happen or it can take place on body. So now this soul is the medical condition. When something strips on the peptic, so when something strips on the peptic or something causes the peptic to be inflamed, then you come down with peptic ulcer. So that so you come ulcer. Like I told you, this also can occur on any part of the body, but also on your finger. On the finger, you go because it's on the finger. So as I said, we have different types of ulcers take place within the stomach. The one that when we talk about the stomach, most people think that whole thing, that whole no, this whole thing is the abdomen, and we have the stomach within this abdomen. The abdomen is situated at the upper left portion of the abdomen. So you can find the stomach somewhere around here, right? So the stomach is somewhere around here, and one of the main functions of the stomach is to digest food, to ground food, to release some chemical enzymes to ground of that process, the digestive process. We have the peptic in the stomach too as well, right? So we have the peptic so in the peptic. So we're going to be looking at the peptic, the soul that takes place within the stomach, right? So now for the definition of peptic ulcer, meaning the one that is in the stomach, it is a soul that develops within about the stomach. So now it's I'm not naming the esophagus, the small intestine. We have the stomach. Now we are done with the definition of peptic ulcer. So we'll be looking at ulcer. We have the helicobacteria, we have the hydrochloric acid, and we have the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Don't worry, I'm going to take it bit by bit because I want you to get a full knowledge of peptic ulcer. Where I will talk about the helicobacteria first. So the helicobacteria are bacteria that live mainly in the stomach, and this bacteria causes infection within the stomach. They live in the mucus of the stomach. When we talk about the mucus is a slumber-like substance. Is okay. When we say cough, most people when you cough, that thick mucus, that thick spit that can come off, but it's in that. So the helicobacteria will start to eat up the mucus. If it continue that way and you don't treat the septic ulcer, the bacteria now will leave. It will get through with the mucus and go to the peptic. It will start to eat up the peptic, and as it's eating up the peptic, it causes infection. So it will also in the peptic at the same time leaving infection in the peptic. So that's how this bacteria can cause septic ulcer. Then we have the hydrochloric acid. This acid it also kills the contains bacteria. So the hydrochloric acid too can kill harmful bacteria. That's the good of the acid. And because the acid is strong and is within the stomach, it helps in the process of digestion. Gives you peptic ulcer. If you are not eating, or rushing to work, every time you continue to diet, you can't afford to eat, you stay hungry the whole day. Some people will say, I'm fasting. You go every time without eating. This acid will start to script the wall against it doesn't mean food. So what is now it will go the wall of the peptide by stripping it. So when it starts to strip the peptide, it will cause peptic ulcer. It will cause salt to get on that peptic, and you will come down with pep how the peptic ulcer. The non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs that are responsible for the release of pain, swelling, fever. Sometimes most people don't medical advice. They are not on any medical supervision. They will just go to any pharmacy, any drugstore, they grab pain tablet and start to take it because it's feeling pain. They are not looking for the cause of the pain, but because they're feeling pain, so they just grab uh, any pain medication. The naproxen, before you take any medicine, right? But I want to say something. Most people at times will tell you you can get peptic ulcer from eating pepper, you can get it from smoking, you can get it from drinking, you can get it from family. But I want to tell you, you cannot get peptic ulcer from smoking, drinking, pepper, or family. Okay, for the pepper, right? You have a soul, like any part of your body. Then you take a pepper, you put it in that soul. You will have that burning sensation. It will start to burn you. It will make you feel uncomfortable. So that's the same with the stomach. If you eat a spicy food, food that has a lot of pepper, when it start to burn you, the common way we get doing like bro, oh, they wish the person. But no, it's not a wish, right? So it will make you feel uncomfortable because of that burn within the soul. So pepper cannot septic ulcer. It's worsen the condition. You already have this soul and you put pepper within that soul. So it, with the family, for the family issue, let's say I was born into this family and we cannot afford to eat. Or my mother cannot afford my because of that. Or they had to ice it. I've stripped the lining off. I've stripped this illness. Because we cannot help for myself, I came down with this illness. We start to conclude that this illness is a family sickness. But peptic ulcer is not a hereditary sickness. It's not a hereditary, right? It's not a family sickness. Then the smoke, the chloride acid to produce excessively. And this acid will go in. That's how you will get septic. It will cause septic probably for you. So it's not advisable to drink. But septic ulcer cannot. Okay, and alcohol cannot cause septic ulcer, right? So these are the causes of septic ulcer. We will go to the signs and symptoms of septic ulcer. How can you get this sickness? How will you feel? What are those experiences you go through when you have peptic ulcer, when the hydrochloric acid has caused this sickness, right? How will you feel? So we will go to the causes, the signs and symptoms of me. We'll go to the signs and symptoms of peptic ulcer. So we have the signs and symptoms. You will have that heartburn. Your heart will start to burn. You feel that burning sensation within the chest, meaning your food is not digesting properly, meaning the food not grounding, is not digesting properly. Then you will also have a stomach pain. Whenever you eat a little food, you have that burning sensation. You feel that burning. Your stomach will be hurting, right? Your stomach will start to hurt, and you loss of appetite. Anytime you eat a little food, you feel full. You take a little quantity of food, you feel full. You start to bail. You start bloating. Some people say are farting or are releasing gas, right? You experience all of those things and you feel nauseated, meaning you want to vomit. You have that urge of vomiting, but you cannot vomit. Or when you vomit, the vomit will contain a dark red blood. Because the reason you see the dark red blood in the vomit is because the acid or the bacteria has caused a hole in the wall of the stomach. So you will see the blood no longer go in the vessel. Instead, it will come outside of the vessel. So you will start to experience that dark red blood within the vomit. And when you go to the bathroom, you also see dark red blood within the stool. I can say the stool, right? You see a dark red blood within the stool. That's the same. And you start to lose weight, unexplainable weight loss. You can tell what cause you can tell what right? Because you see, not digesting properly. The blood is not so you will start to experience that weight loss, right? So these are the signs, symptoms of peptic ulcer. So when you are feeling any of these signs, symptoms that I just talked about, make it your duty to go to the hospital. You know what? Whenever you feel or any sign or any symptoms within your body, I mean, the there is of foreign bacteria or foreign substance or something in my body that I'm supposed to be there. So I need to get it out. So help me. Let it get out. But if you ignore it, it will lead to another problem, another sickness. Like for the car, if your car giving problem and you see the brake is not holding well, and you keep ignoring it, certain place you go, it will just break loose. That's how the body works too. So never ignore any sign and symptom, right? So this is very deadly, as I said. It will bore hole, perforation means hole. It will bore that hole in the stomach. Anytime you got a hole, hmm, the water will go through that hole. It will pass through that hole and start spraying around. That's the same with this. Go outside of the inner bleeding. It's blood because there is occurred within that particular area. When they had pump blood to the body will no the vessel will no longer hold the blood because there is a disconnection within that vessel. So this illness is very dangerous. It can even kill, is life threatening. Septic ulcer is not something to take for granted. So always make sure you go for medical checkup, right? So for the first section, we talk about what is septic. We talk about the causes, the signs and symptoms. So we will take our break. When we come back, I'm septic ulcer.
Hello there. Have you heard about LTC Mobile new 4G internet device? Now listen. LTC Mobile is fresh on the block with its new indoor internet device. It is easy to operate and can work without electricity. Once the battery is fully charged, it takes you up to 9 hours. It is just 99 United States dollars. Guess what? Upon purchase, you can get 1 free month unlimited browsing at a speed of 5 megabytes per second. LTC Mobile is currently in Central Monrovia, Cinco, ELW, Rehab, Bonja, RLJ, Back to St. Mary, VOA, Bourgeois Island, Gardnersville, Johnsonville, Caldwell, and in Diggsville. So if you're in any one of those locations, you can have a ride with LTC Mobile new internet device. It's about time you join the family for the most secure, high capacity, more affordable, more convenient, the fastest speed. Your 0220, no more delays. Your 0220, no more interceptions. Your 0220, no more interrupted calls and no more buffering networks. We move. You can find any one of our offices on Broad Street, in Pinsville, on 18th Street, on the Bella Casa. Once you get there, tell them Uncle PT sent you. LTC Mobile. Indeed, we're making tomorrow's connections today.
Black, it's not dark, it's bright. Black is bold. Black is every color, all together. My thing, your thing, our thing mixed together. Black shines brightest.
Before I do my health, I got eating. That club, yeah, me and my chama one drink. That club, yeah, we let. Club, yeah, so refreshing, baby. Yeah, so refreshing, baby. Club, yeah, na ba ba ba, eh. Na ba ba ba, oh.
We are Club Beer. We are proudly Liberian.
Hi guys, my name is Natasha Smith and I'm the host of Tipsy Talk. So Tipsy Talk is about bringing young people together to discuss various topics in our experiences and our lifestyle, just to get people to know that they're not alone. Just different topic, life experiences and lifestyle. You guys are going to get all the G's, don't worry. So I sit down with my team at Boss TV and we look over the youth in Liberia, people that are outspoken, that are influential, and people that have their own opinions. What really inspired Tips Talk was the fact that I would go on social media and I would go on YouTube and I would see different African countries that's similar to Tipsy Talk, and I'm like, but Liberia is this, like, we have opinions, we want to talk, like, and we're funny as shit, so like, why not bring that to life? So that's what inspired Tipsy Talk. Okay, so guys, that's it. I hope you guys are ready for Tipsy Talk. I'm super excited for you guys to see what we got coming.
Hey y'all, it's the Street Quiz with your girl, Star Jerry, coming soon, live on Bus TV, Satcom Channel 4.
You are watching Boss Media Television.
The second segment of our show. If you are just joining us, this is Boss TV, Satcom Channel 4 with your nurse, Shiva H. Body. On this segment, I will be telling you when you can get septic ulcer. What are those things you need to avoid when you have septic ulcer, and how you can prevent yourself from getting this sickness. So when can you get septic ulcer? You can get septic ulcer at any age. The reason you can get septic ulcer at any age is because of the helicobacteria, the H. pylori bacteria. As long as you are infected with this bacteria, you can get septic ulcer at any age. Be a baby, infant, toddler, whatever. And whenever you are overusing the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, when you are not eating in time, you cannot afford to eat too. So you can get septic ulcer at any age. It's not restricted. Then, what are those things you need to avoid? What are those things you need to avoid when you have septic ulcer? Because this sickness is a soul that is within the stomach. So when you have septic ulcer, there are some food, drugs, and drinks that you are not supposed to take in. So we'll look at the things that you are not supposed to take in first. Are those things that you are not allowed to eat when you have septic ulcer. So we have spicy food. We have the spicy food that contains too much pepper. I talk about the pepper first because when you put the pepper in the food, it will burn you. And finish. So fried food, you should avoid fried food. Food that contains after those food, when you have peptic ulcer, the processed food, mm, like most of the time I can tell people you have peptic ulcer and processed food at times can get cancer, which will be another unique topic for another time, right? So processed food, if you are eating them, it takes a longer time to digest. So you have this so in the food is not digested properly. Then you continue eating processed food like the spaghetti, the macaroni, and you just take it, you eat it. It's not advisable when you have peptic ulcer, you eat processed food. Then you should also avoid food that have too much starch, starches food. Like most people that have peptic ulcer, like my clients, they will tell you that most people will tell you when I eat gari or I eat or plantain, I eat cassava, it can burn. Yes, because those food contain starch and the starch go directly within the soul. So you need to avoid starches food. Stop drinking hot water. I know it's shocking, right? Like because you have a soul. Hmm? Let's say you have a soul. Then you boil water, you pour that boiling water on the soul. It will not burn you. You'll feel that burning sensation. Sir, let it be lukewarm for the citrus food. Citrus, the lemon, the grapefruit, the oranges, you should avoid them. And you should also avoid food that have caffeine, chocolate, or coffee because the caffeine will burn your soul. And don't take in milk. I know it shocks you, right? Back then, we used to tell our clients, our patients that when you feel that burning sensation within your chest, go and drink milk. But it's not advisable because that milk has bacteria. So when the bacteria go in the soul, it will start to eat up the soul and it will also cause infection within the soul. So when you have milk, it's not advisable. Within my treatment, will tell you which of the milk you need to drink, right? Or medication that have caffeine in it. Mm? Before all of the things we eat, they have label. They got a menu. When you read through them, you see all those ingredients that make up that food. So you should avoid medication that have caffeine in it. Like I said, the naproxen, the ASA, the ibuprofen. So when you have a peptic ulcer, the only medication, especially the pain medication that you are supposed to take is the paracetamol or the acetaminophen. Hmm? So you need to take the acetaminophen. So you can avoid those things until your wound gets healed. Then you can go back to your regular diet. I didn't say you should avoid it totally, but you're doing it for your womb to get healed. So because you want for the womb to get healed, so you should avoid for a short period of time. So when you have peptic ulcer, what are those things that you should eat? Things that are advisable for you to eat. When you have peptic ulcer, advisable you eat food a low in saturated fat, meaning food, the fiber food food that cannot be completely digested by your digestive system. So we have the buckwheat wheat. The wheat cannot be completely digested. We have the cucumber, the seed of the cucumber cannot be digested. So these are the food that are recommended for you to eat. So we have some fruit that will help in the process of your womb healing. We have the cucumber. The cucumber have a certain thing in it called the glutamine healing. It will help your womb to heal up. It will help your womb to heal, right? Then we have the ginger. The ginger serves as an anti-inflammatory drugs and it serves as an anti-toxic medication for the anti-inflammatory because you have a soul. There's a pain, so this ginger will cool down the pain, will release the pain, right? And for the ginger, I told you do not take in spicy food. So you are not going to make that ginger so spicy, too hot. So you're going to put enough water in it for the spiciness of that ginger to go down. Then we have the watermelon. The watermelon also up in the process. Broccoli here we have, right? So somebody will ask, can I get this sickness from my friend, or how can I get this sickness? So peptic ulcer is contagious, meaning you can get it from somebody. How? If I am affected with peptic ulcer, I have this helicobacterial in my stomach, and I go to the bathroom. I use the bathroom. I clean up, but I didn't clean myself properly. Mm? And or I didn't wash my hand properly. I came out. I mean, those bacteria left on my hand. I touch a food or I touch anything. Someone else came and touched it or took that food and eat it. Like most people always love eating their nails. So if you that bacteria sit on your nails and you put it in your mouth and go in your stomach, then those bacteria start to eat up your mucus too as well. When left untreated, then it will start to eat up the peptic. So you can get peptic ulcer from somebody, right? It's contagious. And when you have this sickness, how can you prevent yourself, I mean, from getting this sickness, right? So if you don't want to get peptic ulcer, I would advise you to drink water. Always learn to drink water. Water has a lot of health benefits. Water serves as a medication. It's a universal solvent. Hmm? So when you drink the water, what the water will do to the hydrochloric acid here, it will dilute the acid. It will dilute the acid that the acid won't strip the lining of your peptic. Like you have a chloride, you want to chloride your white shirt, right? When you dilute that because you don't want to have your white shirt tune up, so you dilute the chloride. That's the same with the hydrochloric acid. So always learn to drink water. Water is affordable, meaning you can afford it. Water in Liberia is $5. Water is affordable, it's accessible, you can get it anywhere. So learn to drink water even if you cannot afford to eat. And always make sure to eat. Create time for yourself to eat. It's necessary for you to eat. Always make sure you have something in your stomach. You see why the people came up, they created the breakfast, the lunch, the dinner, the supper, because they know what this acid can do to the stomach. So you should always learn to have something in your stomach. If you cannot afford a heavy meal, like most time in Liberia, we say if I don't have a bowl of rice, I will not eat nothing. Particular beans rice that on fire before the acid is drowning the wall of your stomach. So always learn to eat something. Always have something in the stomach and the acid will not strip the lining of the stomach. They will also have the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. As I said, they are drugs that pain, they releases fever. So one thing I will advise you before you take any medication, because every medication has a chemical component. You don't know which of the medication you are allergic to, meaning medicine you're not supposed to take, and you go and take those medications, it can react on you, it can even kill you. So before you take any medication, make sure you ask a health worker, somebody who have a knowledge about medication before you take it, right? Like in Liberia, yeah, it's so that way. Most people, the moment they feel any pain, they will rush to the pharmacy And I can ask them, why are you taking this medication? And sometimes we ask them, they feel offended. But I want to know why you taking this pain medication. Because if you're not treating the pain and you're not treating the cause of the pain, that pain will not go away. And you will continue using that medication and will be creating another harm for yourself. So always make sure you seek medical advice before you take any medication. That's part of the pain medicine, right? So make sure you drink water, seek medical advice before you take any medication, and avoid this medication, right? So we will go to the treatment. Mm? Those treatment that are recommended in this treatment, those treatment that are recommended for peptic ulcer. We have lots of treatment. But one thing I want to tell you before you take, as I said, before you take any medication, you should seek medical advice. Meaning, before you take any medicine, you must ask your doctor or your nurse before you take any medicine. And medicine, before you take it based on your age or your weight, before you take any medication. But usually, the treatment of peptic ulcer lasts for 14 days. Studies have shown that the treatment of peptic ulcer lasts for 14 days. And most cannot is not cured or it cannot be treated is because they don't take the as complete medication. They are not taking the correct treatment. Either when they're taking the correct treatment, they are not taking it in time, or they are not taking it the way it was prescribed. So most of the time, they will not get well. So when somebody comes to you and tell you, or peptic ulcer, it cannot be treated. And I hear someone saying it can be treated. But how did you take the medication? Did you take all of your medication? Because most of the time when I'm in a pharmacy, when people come to me, the only medication they will buy is the omeprazole. That's what everybody knows. So that's the reason I'm here. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you some list of treatments that are recommended in the treatment of peptic ulcer. So most of the time, we will use the antibiotic. The reason we are using the antibiotic is because of the helicobacteria. This bacteria causes infection. So we want to get rid of the infection and we fight bacteria with antibiotics, meaning the broad spectrum antibiotics. Antibiotics that fight against varieties of disease. They both bring negative and positive. So we use those antibiotics. And the antibiotics that are recommended, we have the amoxicillin. And I think I got some of them here. We have the amoxicillin. So this is the amoxicillin. This is how it looks like. As I told you, you will take your treatment based on your age and your weight. So your doctor or your nurse will tell you how to take it. But I'm only telling you those medications that is recommended in the treatment of peptic ulcer. So we have the amoxicillin, we have the metronidazole. Someone who always study, usually call it flagell in Liberia. So we have the metronidazole, which is the flagell. We have the erythromycin. We have the azithromycin. There are so many. So these are the antibiotics that are recommended in the treatment of peptic ulcer. Then we have this drug called the proton pump inhibitor drugs. There are drugs that reduces the too much production of the hydrochloric acid. They also help in the process of wound healing. So the common medication, the ones commonly found in Liberia is the omeprazole. The proton pump inhibitor, the common one that is found in Liberia is the omeprazole. So this is the omeprazole. You see it? This is it. This is the common one that is found in Liberia. So this is how it's like, right? This is how it's like. We have this omeprazole. This is the proton pump inhibitor drug. It stop the acid, the hydrochloric acid from producing excessively, and it also helps in the process of wound healing. Then we have the anti-acid. The anti-acid is a medication that neutralizes the acid, meaning it makes the acid number for it to not strip in the soul. It prevent the rupture of the soul. So this anti-acid, it releases the chest burn. It releases the symptoms. So most of the time, the way we call it anti-acid in Liberia, we call it the gas tablet, the gas syrup. I mean, and this is the anti-acid. This is it. So this is the anti-acid. This is how it's like. It's like a milk. So under the anti-acid, we have the milk of magnesium. I told you when you have peptic ulcer, you shouldn't drink any milk. So this is the milk that is recommended. The milk of magnesium. This is it. It's like a milk. So you can see it. This is the milk of magnesium. And we also have the yogurt. The yogurt is accessible. So you can take in the milk of magnesium and the yogurt. Then we have the psychoprotective drugs. It's a drugs that pharmacy will not just sell to you. This drug protect the line of the stomach. Okay, this is a drug ad, right? So when the acid has been released, the psychoprotective drug will go into the soul. And when it's in the soul, it will also help the wound to heal. While the wound is healing, when the acid comes, the hydrochloric acid, the psychoprotective medication will block the acid. This is the drug, and it will only facing the other side of the acid while the wound is healing. So that's the reason it's called the psychoprotective drug. And the psychoprotective drug is the misoprostol or the satotec. The misoprostol has a lot of function. Not only misoprostol, all medication has a lot of function. So most of the time, this misoprostol is used for postpartum hemorrhage in a hospital when a woman gives birth to stop bleeding, and it's also used for abortion. So you see, most people will abuse the drug, so they will not just sell it to anybody. That's the reason we are very technical. We are very technical based on those who give it to. So we don't just give it to anybody. If you have septic, also you come to the hospital, we will prescribe it and we make sure you take it right before. So we're not just give it because most people abuse this drug. People use it for abortion. So we have the psychoprotective drugs is very good and is recommended in the treatment of septic ulcer. So these are the list of that is used in the treatment of septic ulcer. But I want to tell you something. It is always recommended before you take any drugs or before you do anything pertaining to your health, always seek medical advice. Because when you go to the hospital, when the doctor do your examination, they do your checkup, when they know what's happening to you, then they will know which are the medications to give. But don't feel that burning sensation within your stomach because almost all the sicknesses have similar sickness. Burning sensation, you say, oh, on Bus TV, my nurse said, if I'm having a burning stomach, I'm going to go and get amoxicillin, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. No. Before you take it, because as I said, almost all the illnesses have similar signs and symptoms. When you go to do the checkup, then they'll tell you you are infected with peptic ulcer, so you need this, you need that before you can take it. Your stomach shouldn't be hurting. You go to the pharmacy, you say, I saw on Bus TV, my nurse said I can take this medication, I can take that medication, right? So for any sickness, make sure you always seek medical advice to avoid damage, to avoid allergic reaction in medication, right? So this is how we come to the closing of our show. Thank you for watching. This is Boss TV Sacom Channel 4 with your nurse, Shiba Eshbade. I love you all.
You're watching Boss TV, the only boss with triple S. Peace.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Antonio, the female Venom, and you're watching Boss TV, the only boss with triple S on Satcon Channel 4.
You're watching Boss TV, the only boss with triple S. Peace.
Labia, we left. Labia, we left. Before I do my hair, I got eating. That club, yeah, me and my chama one drink. That club, yeah, we left. Labia, so refreshing, baby. Hey, so refreshing, baby. Labia, and I'm back, hey,
Beats. We are Club Beer. We are proudly Liberian.
Black is not dark, it's bright. Black is bold. Black is every color all together. My thing, your thing, our thing mixed together. Black shines brightest.
Hello there. Have you heard about LTC Mobile new 4G internet device? Now listen. LTC Mobile is fresh on the block with its new indoor internet device. It is easy to operate and can work without electricity. Once the battery is fully charged, it takes you up to 9 hours. It is just $99 United States dollars. Guess what? Upon purchase, you can get 1 free month unlimited